No excuses, guys. Get out on the water, no matter what it takes. Little P-row. Oh, he's still on there. Wait, what happened? What just happened here? Hey, what's up? Still hanging out, huh? What's this manatee doing? Get out of the way, buddy. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Welcome back to the harbor. I'm Brian, and this is the beautiful Charlotte Harbor. It's been quite a while since I've been out here, actually. Been about 3 weeks. I've been focusing on my other channel, but more on that later. We're going to make up for it today. Going to do a little different style of videoing. It's going to be uncut, except for if I have to get on the outboard and move. Unfiltered, not unfiltered, I mean uncut. No editing, just a real fishing day. So we might do 2 hours, we might do 3, but it's too hot. I can tell already this morning to do 4, but we're gonna go for 3 hours. We're gonna see what we can catch, and you're gonna come along, and it's gonna be just like a real fishing trip. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. I'm gonna start out this morning just fishing this inside of this little cove here. I'm actually in Catfish Creek, the mouth, the bay that Catfish dumps into. And yeah, so first thing first, we're going to start off with the mulligan, little paddle tail, something with a little bit of a wake, something that'll put a little vibration, I should say, in the water. And let's see what we can do. My mouth might sound a little funny because I had a tooth pulled 2 days ago. Uh-oh. Yeah, the 3 weeks sitting there, she kind of dried out a little bit on me. What's going on here? A little squeaky. But all the stuff I would normally cut out, with the power of editing, I mean, you could make anything happen. I'm not going to cut out today, including that. The heck is that thing doing? Squeaky wheel. Gets the grease. All right. Coming up to this little point right here. That's why I stopped. That cut over there is where I'm heading specifically, but I figured I'd pull up short here and just work our way up nice and slow. Right there, something. Trout right here. I know this darker water, I've got a darker color paddle tail I was going to start off with, but since it's real low light here early in the morning, I figured I'd give them something they could see a little better. Something else right there. And that's why I stopped short, as I saw some mullet or bait or some kind of fish flickering. See, it's still right here. What's going on? What's going on here? Something here. We got high water, like flood tide in here. And we got dark water, so yeah, fish could be anywhere. It's starting to cool down just a wee bit the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 mornings. But heat index has got it coming up to 107 today, so we ain't in fall yet, but it's starting to change. We've had a lot of rain the last few days too, so it's cooling down the water. Afraid to turn this trolling motor on. My plan is to work the outside. Out front of Catfish Creek is loaded with oyster bars, really shallow as well, not a lot of water. So the plan is to, with this high water, is to work some of these oyster bars. Feels like it's come on now. Hopefully that thing will smooth out. Alright guys, I had to stop the video to straighten out the trolling motor. Basically I put it on full speed, put the motor in gear as well, the outboard, and just ran the boat at, I don't know, above idle speed, and that was really spinning the prop extra fast, and that spun the squeak right out of it. So, you know, these props, these electric trolling motors, I should say, should be washed down with fresh water after every use, but I keep my boat in a boat slip where there is no fresh water. So I ride her hard, put her away wet and salty and crusty, and this thing takes a licking and keeps on ticking. But there will be a couple cuts. I get into some fish. I get into a really solid stretch, probably the best 15-minute stretch I've had in a long time. I get a fish before that stretch, though. So, again, there is going to be a lot of just fishing and not as much pure catching like highlight reel stuff. So just bear with me and let's see how we do. Alright, I will have to turn the battery, or the camera off obviously when the battery dies, so. And I guess I can do whatever I want. This is not a challenge by any means. I just want to try making a different style of video. More of a realistic day of fishing. Guys, there's got to be a fish here. Manatee, two manatee. I just brought it right across them. There's a third manatee, little baby. There has got to be some redfish sitting in here with all these manatee. Excuse me, all these mullet. And these manatee, they don't hurt neither. Just down there foraging through the mud, kicking stuff up. Wish I could see where they were at better. They pop up now and then they disappear. I don't want to snag one. This little John is great at snagging things. Man, the combination between the outgoing tide and the wind blowing me in is just holding me right here perfectly. There he is behind me, another one. There we go. Okay, get out of there. There we go. Oh, there's another one on him. Nice. Nice red, and there's another one on him. Sweet. Sweet. Well, it took a minute, but we got one. Didn't realize my drag was so loose. Man, I wasn't expecting that. He swallowed it. Pretty red. All right, all right. Took a minute, but boy, that other one was a lot bigger. It was on him. That other one was a lot bigger. Where's my pliers at? Here, buddy. Choked it a little bit, but there we go. Got it out. All right, got it out. Took a minute. He did swallow it. Hey, there you go. All right. I wanted to quickly get him in there. Didn't have time to show him to the camera because it took me a minute to get him out, to get that out of his throat. So, all right. Well, we're on the right track. We are on the right track. I guess I probably have been wasting too much time working the open water because that was only really third or fourth cast along the bank here in the bushes, and there he was. And there's another one with him, maybe more. This is going to open up here in the back. This creek, kind of like a little creek mouth. So let's see if we can find another one. Make sure we didn't get frayed up too badly here. Control motor's nice and quiet now, thankfully. Yeah, what was I saying? I don't remember what we were talking about, but we'll have to just talk about something else. Yeah, this Little John, this is just as good as it gets for redfish bait. This watermelon color, dark water, clear water, any color water works. I put this chartreuse little neon jig head on it just to give it a little pop, and I didn't think of that myself. I learned this from listening to a podcast, Salt Strong podcast, with the founder of Power Pole. He was the guest, and he does a lot of redfish tournaments. They host redfish tournaments. He catches a lot of redfish, and all he uses is a little twitch bait like this with this jig head. Literally gets on a boat. People are like, "Where's your tackle box?" And he's got a bag or two of a couple different color baits, little twitch baits, and a couple jig heads. 7'6" rod, 10-pound braid, and that's it. And he wins fish tournaments all the time. Keep it simple. I like keeping it simple. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Well, we still got bait, or we still got mullet bouncing around here, so hopefully we're on the right track. Get a couple more reds before this morning turns into a blistering September afternoon. But that was nice confidence boost there. Doggone it. You see, these things are little more resilient, but this bait is all tore up from that fish, probably from me having to get it out of his throat. Let me put on another one. Pretty sure, yeah, we got a whole pack of them right here. You know what? I don't see much just hitting the mouth of this creek, but I've never fished it. It's not a true creek. It's just really a little channel that divides a few islands. But let's ride up in there a little ways. There we go. Back at it. This bait just gets down, right down to where the reds are, in the mud, in the mangroves, darts by, and they gotta have it. I still should work it a little slower, even though it is a erratic moving bait. It's hot. Give them a chance to see it, chase it. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch this, not right now. I'm gonna get these jig heads. They're called Rockport Rattlers, because I was just thinking the only thing that this bait doesn't do, it has no, you know, it's putting no vibration in the water. It's got no sound because there's no tail flapping, or you know, certainly it's not a top water making some movement up top. So it is very quiet bait. And you would like just a little bit of, hey, I'm over here, you know. So I'm gonna put on these jig heads. I'm gonna go buy a pack. They're called Rockport Rattlers, and they've got a little rattle in the jig head itself, just to give it a little click when that thing bounces, when I twitch it, or when it hits the bottom. That little click just might help get their attention. Yeah, because again, we're working some dark stained water here. And it's not that a lot of fish have seen this and turned it down today. It's that, you know, I probably haven't put it in the front of too many fish. So I gotta get their attention any way I can. There we go. There we go. Another fish finally. Here, let's just hold tight right here. Hold tight. Put the spot lock down. What do we got? Nice snook. There's a sandbar right, it goes right across here. It's very shallow. You know, just about every other day out of the year. And right as it ends, it gets into those mangroves, there's actually a little cut when the water just flows in when the tide first starts to move. That's a solid snook. And so I figured, you know what? Maybe there's a fish sitting right in that deeper cut. And sure enough, there she was. Nice snook. Solid snook. Hook right in the button. Heck yeah. Well, it's been a slow morning. Really only had 2 bites, but they've been quality bites. Yeah, I know you ain't happy. Look at that, kind of like a snake. What are those? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Those invasives down in South Florida. Snakefish, whatever they're called. They kind of got that same pointy mouth to a small degree. All right. Come on. Unbutton. Pop. Pop, pop, finally. How long are you there? He's 24 and a half. 24 and a half. Let's just smile for the camera. Take a picture. Pretty 24 and a half inch snook. Nice, thick, meaty back. Beautiful thing. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here to say hello. Oh, manatee. All right, let's get you back going. And now we can say hi to the manatee later. Nice, right here on the way out. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. See ya. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Well, let's see if there's another one back there. I was saying this, this island has a narrow strip of oysters. Right where I just casted, oddly enough, is kind of a little deep spot between this oyster bar. You can see what is a little island or mangrove, little bitty mangrove bush, and then it's a long, little bit of a 4-foot wide sidewalk of oyster bar. But then as soon as it hits that island right there, just before it dips, which, you wouldn't think it would. Hey, hello. So cool. Look at this water just dumping out now. And the only reason why I know it does is because I fish here a lot, and you see it on low tide. And really, the mangrove bushes cover it, so you don't really see it. I saw it because I've waded that spot, and I'm walking along basically dry land, and I see the water just flowing back there. Like, what is that? Little secret spot. And as I was thinking those exact thoughts, I only know about that spot because of being out here on low tide. I was like, yeah, let's cast over there. Bada bing, bada boom. And I always get bit right in here anyway, in this little cove. But that was cool. All right, let's move. Oh, don't do that. Let's move along. Actually, let's take a few casts right here while we're pinned. I don't know what this manatee's doing. Hanging out with me. He's right here. When I post these videos, I mean, there's times when I go out and I'm not, like when I said I was running the boat just to run it, and I might take a pole or might go out just for an hour or two, not trying to actually catch fish. But if I go out, try to get out as early as I can and block off 3 to 4 hours of fishing and really try to catch fish. There's a fish. Oh, doggone it. Oh, no, he's still on there. Wait, what happened? What just happened here? I think I just had a small snook. He got off. I went to turn on the trolling motor. He, hit the spot lock. He got off. No, he's off. I guess I don't have a fish. And I start reeling again for a second maybe. And all of a sudden I get smoked by this thing. Pretty sure that's my story and I'm sticking to it. This is a nice snook. This is a solid fish, man. Oh, what's this manatee doing? Get out of the way, buddy. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Heck yeah. Remind me about my story about catching fish. Actually, yeah, I guess you can't do that. I'll have to remind myself. Oh man, guys, the only bad thing is I'm a little frayed up, but I've got 30 on. He appears to be hooked at decent. Get out of that trolling motor. Heck yeah. Oh no, he ain't hooked good at all. Oh yeah. He's, what is he? No, he's he's hooked outside the mouth. That's good, but it's crooked. It isn't straight. There. Get my hands on you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Heck yeah. Now we're putting together a little bit of a morning. Come on up here, say goodbye. Say hello, I should say. Say hello. Much bigger than that other fish. He's 27, but so much more fish right here. Actually, he was hooked just fine. That wasn't coming out. That wasn't coming out. Nice. I mean, I already fished all this area earlier this morning, so pretty cool hitting it again and having success. There we go, straighten out the camera. There you go, beautiful 27-inch snook on the Little John. What a beast. Thick, heavy, healthy fish. Ooh, got smoked. He smoked it after a smaller fish let go. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Had a little fish that let go and he came right up behind it and said, I'll take that off your hands. Awesome. This is getting to be a fun little summer morning. Turn and burn. Heck yeah. Having fun. Man, let's see if we can get another fish. That manatee still here? Yeah, manatee right there still. Yeah, this was the goal. Are you kidding me? What happened? I gotta be snagged. The second that thing landed, I think I got a stick. What is going on here? What the heck do I got? I got an oyster. I knew it wasn't a fish, but anyway. This was the plan, working these oyster bars. There's a manatee. Working these oyster bars with this high water and picking up a few snook. And this morning, throwing that paddle tail, I mean, it was just dead. There was just nothing. Mullet everywhere. I thought I would be getting into some bites and nothing. Finally, to get the morning rolling, I hooked into that red. And now coming back out here, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. It is time to retie that. That's what it is. You know what I think it is though? It's the current is moving good now. It had just started to turn when we were here earlier. It was a little slack. I meant to say. Let's just switch over here. A little smaller jig head, but we're rigged and ready. I hate retying on the boat, guys. I just do. I know it's bad. It only takes less than 5 minutes. But I can be very impatient when I'm fishing, which is not a trait of a great fisherman. I think the tide's just moving now really good. Got some good current flow. Rolling over these oyster bars, and now we found a few snook here. Hey, what's up? Still hanging out, huh? Worse than Flipper. Only thing is I know what Flipper wants. I don't know what he wants. Seriously, do you know? Let me know. Why are the manatees hanging around the boat? They usually don't, but they do occasionally. I know they come up to me when I'm washing boats at the dock. I know they want fresh water. which don't give it to them, but it's not good for them. Uh-oh, there it is. Oh yeah, guys, this is a little feeding spot right here. Man, a little feeding zone. That was a nice snook right there. There is a bunch of snook right in this pocket. You can't see it, but this oyster bar curls out just a little ways. So this is kind of like a little eddy here. I'm actually there we go. I'm actually a little too close to them. These are solid fish. I should be farther away. But, I mean, oh gosh, this is another solid snook. Is he gonna make the engine? Wait, is this a red? Yeah, it's a red. Heck yeah. I'm like sitting on top of the fish, being quiet, but I just dropped the spot lock to, to catch that first fish, which I stumbled upon, and I didn't realize it, but I nearly spot locked right on the fishing hole, right on the honey hole. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That snook missed it, and this guy got it. And I'm glad of it. All right, come here. Oh. Right. Hey. Shh. I know you want to just get in here and go nuts. Scare everybody away. Shh. That's the same size. Same size as that other red I caught this morning. There, that thing was twisted. The lure had me confused. There we go. Yeah, pretty little, I don't know, 18. No, sorry. 21-inch red. Putting together a morning. I ain't gonna lie, not bad. Little morning since I ain't been out in a month, but whew, good times. Let the good times roll. 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. And we found that water. See if I'm chewed up at all. Nope. I'm gonna say right there where I landed, that oyster bar curls out. It's actually, I can see it now. It's starting to get exposed, just barely. Guys, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm a little jumpy. That might have been an oyster. There, you can see it now. The sun's popping up. That white spot, that little bit of grass there, and the tip of the oyster bar that's exposed right just beyond that is obviously extremely shallow. As soon as the water rolls off of that, it's deep. This is all very deep water. It's 5, 6, 7 foot deep. And there's fish sitting in here. This creek is just dumping out right now. Not dumping, I shouldn't say dumping. It's actually not a really super fast moving tide today. This creek is emptying out this morning, and they're just sitting right here. They got a nice little eddy on both sides because it's protected by an oyster bar behind me as well, and then an oyster bar to the right. You just got everything you need right here, and they're just sitting here waiting for bait to go by. Hopefully I didn't just catch the last of them, but again, I'd like to be pitched up a little bit, posted up a little bit more behind myself, but I'm not even going to mess with it because that spot lock is so noisy when you first turn it on, so I don't want to go reset. I'll just fish here for a few more minutes. But wait, there's more. I'm just moseying on back home, but there's just bait everywhere. Birds everywhere right here in this little cut between these islands, so I figure, let's see if we can get a trout. Make this into a slam. What we got here? Needle nose. More needle nose following me up. Oh, there's a little cormorant now. Doing a nosedive on me. Look at that. Caught a fish too. Oh, there we go. And I got a fish. Fish for everybody. There it is. There's our slam. Cormorant just grabbed another one. What does he got? Man, is that a big pinfish? Huh. There's my slam. Slam dunk. The cormorant just came up and just choked out. I can't even tell what I think they were two big pinfish. You know what they actually looked like? Short little stubby sugar trout. What they looked like. But I'm gonna say it probably wasn't. That's what it looked like. And that's about the, what are you getting? What are you getting? See if he comes up. See if he comes up with another one. There are some fish following me up that are small, about that size. I wonder if I'm into a little bit of sugar trout. There, you got it. Yeah. No, it's a pinfish. Golly, he just choked down 3 solid pinfish. Man, you don't mess around with them. I told you. They're the best fishermen of the sea. They don't go hungry. If they're sitting around, they're just bored. Oh, got a little bite. Might as well keep fishing. Getting a bit of cloud cover here and there, and the breeze is significant now that I'm out here right on the sound. So it feels pretty good. Let's give it another half hour. You go another half hour with me? What I'm going to do is just work this outer edge of this island, and there's an oyster bar, a big oyster bar out in the open water, and then we'll hit that. Guy fishing out of a Sea-Doo fishing jet ski, specifically designed for fishing. It's got a fish too. I'd love to have one of those. Zip around and do oh, he lost it, little trout. I'd love to have one of those for doing like my spear fishing videos. Stick a rod in the back with like a giant spoon, spear gear. Just do 60 up and down the Gulf Coast, go wherever I want. Oh, I'll do that one of these days. Get me one of those. They ain't cheap though. They got like a cooler spot for a cooler on the back. I can just rip up and down the coast and just hit different spots. And that sounds like a good idea. Thank you, Lord. There's a fish. What did I do? Yeah, I got a fish. Little trout. Other little trout. He's spitting out his breakfast. Just choked up a bunch of minnows. Still. Oh, there's something else right up there. Getting up to this oyster bar is definitely a lot more activity. Another battery bites the dust. The batteries, guys, they don't last long at all. I mean, this camera is also overheating, but I got my back to the sun, so the camera's not in the direct sun, but it's still, when it's hot, the hotter it is, it just eats up these batteries. Come on now, I don't want to leave these fish to find fish. I know there's still a few over there. There's got to be. I'll just slow this thing down a little bit. That's what we'll do. Slow it down. See if there's anybody that was a little skeptical. There's a bump. Could have been an oyster. It's real shallow up there. Anybody that was on the fence wants to take a shot at me here? Come on. Huh. Man, it was straight fire there for about 10 minutes. Couldn't keep a bait in the water. Oh, that was a bite. It was a small bite. Oh, snagged another one. Let's just hold on right here. You know what I'm gonna do? I snagged a needlefish. Good size one too. Perfect size for bait. Let's just do a little live bait fishing for a minute. In my last video, I caught or maybe it was 2 videos ago, I snagged a pinfish on accident with the Little John, and as I was bringing it in, I mean instantly, really, a nice trout, keeper trout, just came up and smoked him. So Little John caught a pinfish and the pinfish caught a trout. And this needle nose just swimming out here, he would get smoked by a snook. He ain't so far, so I'll let you go. Hold still, don't go jumping around and make it worse. I told you, stay away from the Little John. I think you're in a little better shape than the other one was. Another needle nose we snagged today. Oh no, now you're not now. Stop wiggling. Oh gosh, look at this. Twisted his tail. Buddy, I know this hurts. There you go. Yep, he's gonna make it. No, he's not. There he is already. He is going to be crab food. Needlenose are aggressive. They come running up on you. All right, let's move on. And then they get hit. Don't mess around with the little John. That's what I've been trying to tell you. He catches fish when they don't want to be caught. So obviously, I mean, again, the water is moving now much better, but we came through here, we worked a paddle tail, which I shouldn't have, but it was little, low light, and I just thought maybe that would be better, putting a little vibration in the water. And with all this water, oh, come on, you gotta be kidding me, snagged another one. And he's off. With all this water movement, I mean, with all the depth of water that we have, I'll get this out. You know, that little paddle tail just kind of skimming across the top of the water just wasn't the best bet. Come back through here with this little John, get it down in the water column, down on the bottom where the fish are right now. And that was a pretty productive little spot, I must say. Now I remember what I was going to say. It was reminds me from a comment from John, Simple Man, and he said that, I can't remember, it's just something just along the lines of, good video, you always seem to catch fish. You always catch something, and I feel like that's true. I always catch something. You know, I'm not catching epic fish every time. Nobody does, though. And so what I was going to say is, my videos, unless I'm just doing a short little, just going out for fun, even if I bring the camera, you know, maybe I fish for an hour or two. If I actually go out and want to fish for the morning, I post that video, because I always end up catching something. And so I know there's guys who do the YouTube, and if they don't have as good of a day, they might combine 2 days, and I'll do that as well, full disclosure. But I pretty much just post the day. I go out, and obviously if I don't catch fish, which that very rarely does happen, you know, or again, something's just not working, trolling motor's malfunctioning that day, something along those lines, I pretty much, you know, what you see is what you get. I went out, I fished for 3 hours, I did the best I could, I had fun, I videoed it, which makes it a lot harder, actually. And so pretty much all my days are out there for you to see. And hopefully this new format, doing these longer form ones, I know you can't watch it all, some of you guys, most of you guys, but what I don't love about this is the editing part, and it literally takes more time to edit a video than it does to go out and fish. I love fishing. I don't love sitting at the computer, though. I actually loathe sitting at the computer. Unless I'm watching like YouTube videos or something, you know, that's cool, I like that. But I don't like editing all day long. I like seeing the end product, I do. And I have a second channel, so that's really what hurts, because I'm doing that, and that actually is starting to pay some bills. Harbor Pilot Yacht Tours is my yacht tour videos where I do walkthroughs. My wife's starting to help me now a little bit, and it's taking off, unfortunately, much more than the fishing one. It's what I would hope. If I would have got the same views I'm getting on my boating channel, on my fishing channel, I wouldn't have had a boating channel to begin with, and I would be out here fishing 4 days a week. Well, 3 days a week. 4 days is a little much. And loving it, but they're not. There's just so many guys, and I guess I'm definitely not the world's greatest fisherman. But anyway, back to the story of editing. It's not my favorite thing. So why not try this? No edit, low edit, cut a little bit out and just throw it up, and we'll see how you guys think, see how you respond. Look at that. What did I do? How did that happen? Yeah, so here's something I would normally edit right out. Well, what's going on? Okay. How did I get this wind knot like this? Yeah, I think I should just edit this out. And here's what I don't edit out. Oh, I'm just gonna fish with it just like that, with that loop in it. I don't even care. You know what? No, I'm not. Because it's already got a knot tangled up on my guide. Let's switch. Ooh, look at that pelican, just ba-boom. All right, real quick here. Let's switch. I've got another. There we go. That's why I brought 3 poles. You see that? I've got another rod and reel rigged up. Actually, this one's less chafed. Boy, they're both pretty chafed. Whew. Look, I already caught a few bigger fish today. If I lose a big fish, I'll just deal with it. It's so hot, I'm running out of temperature. Eventually, I'm going to have to quit. And I don't feel like wasting any more time tying a knot. So we're going with chafed up 30-pound braid. 30-pound mono leader. Let's stick with the plan. There's oyster bars over here. There's 2 of them. Let's go work them. Pelican just dove down. Oh, look at this, here comes an osprey. He's getting ready to crash on something. Boom. Pelican just dropped. Another pelican dropped over there, and as soon as he did, he scared a cormorant. Those are those kind of like a water duck, the birds that hang around. You see them hanging around crab buoys a lot, and they dive down anyway and come up with fish. And he landed, and when he did, that cormorant came flying up out of the water, like totally spooked. Had no clue he was coming. Boom. Another osprey. Well, the harbor is alive. Looking very happy and healthy. Okay, hold on. Ooh, there's a good little swirl right there on that tip, on that point. The end of this island, to the right of it, about 30 yards, is the beginning of a long sandbar, sand/oyster bar. Right where I just cast it is a deep trough that runs between the two. Should be a fish in there. The harbor is alive with everything from the micronutrients all the way up to the top apex predators, shark and dolphin and the big birds of prey, pelicans. And you know, people complain this time of year, oh, the water's brown. I mean, don't get me wrong, they pollute, and you know, there's garbage that gets put in the water, unfortunately. But the primary reason the water looks like root beer is because of the Myakka, specifically speaking about the harbor, is because of the Myakka and the Peace River, which feed this harbor, which make this harbor something other than just an open body of water, which is kind of like what Sarasota Bay is why it doesn't have the same just biodiversity that we have here. And yes, that means we're going to have tannin stained water. We're going to have water that's coming down from these rivers is full of nutrients and dirt and staining from all the leaves from the rivers. And then of course the harbor dumps all of the mangrove leaves in it, and so they stain it. And so, you know, there you have it. That's why the water is brown. as the rivers slow down in the dry season, the Gulf comes in with a nice incoming tide. You got clean water in a lot of the harbor. But with all those nutrients also come, with all that dark water comes nutrients, and those nutrients feed all of our little everything. Starts the whole food chain. All the tiny little fish, all the little fry of these pilchards and whitebait, mullet, everything feeds on that, and then it just works its way up. Those little baits get bigger, and they're now big and full and thick and everywhere in the harbor, and they're feeding everything. They're so full of fat and nutrients, and they're so soft and just delicious. There's no spines in them, very little bones compared to like a pinfish or a mullet, and they're so plentiful and easy to eat that all the fish this time of year are fattening up on them. Of course, so are some of the other wildlife, and that's what brings in all of our shark, and that brings in the tarpon bringing the shark. It just starts the whole food chain. So if they ever say they want to dam up the Peace and the Mayaca River and have Charlotte Harbor be pretty blue water, tell them to pound sand. It'll ruin our harbor, because that's what most people care about. All they care about is looking at blue water. All right, that's enough of my rant. That oyster bar wasn't very productive. Let's move over to this oyster bar right here, and we'll work our way around this island. And if we don't get anything, I might just say goodbye at that point. Here's one of those cormorants I was telling you about. That he might even be the one. He's sitting right up here on this post. He'll let us get pretty close to him. He was underwater fishing, obviously. Pelican came down, boom, cannonballed like nearly on top of him, and he just sticks his head up, like started to flap his wings a little bit, like, do I need to get out of here? What the heck was that? Well, again, just like, it's like the exact scenario we just had. This island to my right drops off, the water drops off in front of it, going left, and then it starts another long oyster bar, runs parallel to it, and so in between is a nice little cut where the water flows fairly well. Let's bump this troll motor up, get you guys over there. So that's a cormorant, not to be confused with an anhinga, also called a snakebird. Those guys have very long beaks and a very long neck. They're not as good of a fisherman. These cormorants are the best fishermen in the harbor. Man, I've seen them things. I was detailing a boat, working in Punta Gorda Isles. I've seen that thing come flying. Literally looks like he's flying underwater. And gets up into a massive oyster bar, or oyster rocks that were down, oyster-laden rocks, I should say, that were right in front of me on the seawall and between the dock. And he was jabbing his head in these deep holes so fast. I mean, his head with his face and his eyes. I mean, I wouldn't stick my hand in there for nothing. And he pulls out an oyster cracker, also known as a mother-in-law fish or a mudfish. These things are nasty. They got a mouth so big and just so slimy. He pulled that thing out like he just grabbed a Jolly Rancher. There he goes, he's taking off. And choked that thing down like it was a piece of candy. Whoa! Gosh, just about got up my line. Just did a circle around me. And I've seen them grab catfish, and then what they do is they take that catfish down to the bottom and pin him in the mud and stab him and kill him and readjust them so they can choke them down head first. Obviously they can't swallow them tail first. Can't follow much of any fish tail first, but certainly not a catfish. I mean, a catfish, could you imagine having a semi-alive catfish in your stomach? Could you imagine the stomach lining you gotta have for that? I mean, we get upset stomachs over some like greasy food. This guy's swallowing catfish alive. Excuse me. Unbelievable. Or here's a better one. Think of these sharks, or excuse me, think of these Goliath grouper. There's videos you see him come up and inhale a 36-inch shark that somebody was reeling in. Boy, this water's moving really good right here. I need to quit yapping and pay attention. They inhale a 36-inch shark, swallow it down alive. Again, imagine the stomach lining on a fish that is containing a 3-foot-long shark. Unbelievable. Okay, don't get snagged. There we go. Well, guys, oyster bar right here. There's somebody on the other side of that island caught something, hooping and hollering. But I haven't caught nothing in a few minutes. I know, as you guys can tell, I'm sure you're getting bored of listening to my stories, so let me sign off right here. Figure out how to get this camera off. Oh, well, you know what? That was an eventful morning. We find the sunshine. I wasn't sure if how this was going to work. I'm still not sure how it's going to work. I'm not even sure what you guys just watched, but we caught a few fish. I'm not sure how long that video is going to be. Like I said, I want to try to make it uncut and unedited. I had to cut out a few things, but we'll see. Let me know what you think. I know no comments needed as far as way too long. Believe me, I get that. But for you guys that did watch it or watched quite a bit of it or just skimmed through it, what do you think? Should I try a few more like this? Let me know. I'll probably do it no matter what you say. So anyway, I really appreciate it. I think this would be a fun way to just put out some additional content. I'll leave you guys with that. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, get out into the wild. You never know what you're going to see.